19 minutes. That's all it took for a 21-year-old nursing student to disappear without a trace on a freezing New Hampshire road. No footprints in the snow. Nobody ever found. Just a locked car and a mystery that has haunted America for 20 years. Her name was Maura Murray. Brown hair, blue eyes, 5'7". She was an athlete, a West Point cadet turned nursing student, the kind of daughter every parent dreams of. Smart, driven, full of life. But on February 9th, 2004, something inside her snapped. And what happened next defies every logical explanation. Maura grew up in Hanson, Massachusetts, in a close-knit Irish Catholic family. She excelled at everything she touched. Track star in high school, she got into West Point, studied chemical engineering. But it wasn't for her. So she transferred to UMass Amherst to study nursing, chasing a dream to help people. By early 2004, Maura was dating Bill Rausch, a fellow West Point graduate stationed in Oklahoma. But the relationship was rocky. There were accusations of infidelity. She was also seeing her track coach. And beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect student, cracks were beginning to show. Small mistakes that would soon haunt the investigation. 3 months before her disappearance, Maura was caught using a stolen credit card to order food. The charge was minor, dismissed as long as she stayed out of trouble. Then, on February 5th, she broke down crying at her campus security job after a phone call with her sister. She couldn't even speak. 2 days before she vanished, Maura's father came to visit. She borrowed his Toyota to go to a party. On her way back, she crashed it into a guardrail. $10,000 in damage. No tickets issued. But something about that crash felt wrong to her father. He couldn't shake the feeling. February 9th, 2004. At 1:24 p.m., Maura sent an email to her professors. I'm taking a week off due to a death in the family. But here's the thing. There was no death. Her family confirmed it. No one had died. So why did she lie? What was she running from? Or running to? That afternoon, Maura withdrew $280 from an ATM. Nearly every dollar in her account. Then she drove to a liquor store and bought a bottle of vodka, Kahlua, Bailey's, and a 12-pack of something strong. Enough alcohol to last days. Or to numb something she couldn't face. She also picked up accident report forms from the local police station. Why? Was she planning another crash? Covering tracks? Then she loaded her black Saturn with textbooks, running clothes, birth control pills, and drove north into the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Alone. No cell service, no GPS tracking. At 7:27 p.m., a woman named Faith Westman called 911. She'd seen a car nose first in a snowbank on Route 112. A dark, winding road surrounded by nothing but forest. She reported seeing someone near the vehicle. But when police arrived 19 minutes later, the driver was gone. Before police arrived, a school bus driver named Butch Atwood stopped to help. He saw a young woman standing outside the crashed Saturn. She looked shaken, but refused his help. I've already called AAA, she told him. It was a lie. There was no cell service there. and she didn't have AAA. Butch went home. His house was within sight of the crash. He called 911 at 7:42 p.m. He kept watching from his window. Minutes later, he saw police lights, but the woman was already gone. Disappeared. In less than 20 minutes, Maura Murray had vanished into thin air. When Officer Cecil Smith arrived at 7:46 p.m., he found the Saturn locked, airbags deployed, windshield cracked, but no driver. Inside the car, her textbooks, running gear, MapQuest directions to Burlington, Vermont, and bottles of alcohol. Some had spilled. The inside reeked of liquor. But there was no blood, no signs of violence. A rag was stuffed into the Saturn's tailpipe, a trick Maura's father had taught her to hide smoke from the car's failing engine. But investigators wondered, was it just a mechanical fix? Or was someone trying to stage something? The car told a story, but the pieces didn't fit. Search dogs arrived the next day. They picked up Maura's scent and followed it exactly 100 yards east of the crash site. Then it stopped. Completely. As if she had vanished into the air. Or gotten into a vehicle. But whose? And why leave everything behind in her car? Then came a chilling detail. A witness reported seeing a police SUV parked nose to nose with Maura's Saturn between 7:33 and 7:37 p.m. But Officer Smith didn't arrive until 7:46. So who was in that SUV? Was it an unmarked car? A civilian vehicle? Or someone pretending to be police? The question tore through the investigation like wildfire. Was Maura running from something? Or running toward someone? Did she accept a ride from a stranger? Or did someone she trusted take her? The more investigators dug, the more questions piled up, and none of them had answers. Her father, Fred Murray, drove to New Hampshire immediately. He searched every back road, every trail, every inch of wilderness. He returned every weekend for months, for years. He knocked on doors, handed out flyers, begged for answers. He refused to believe his daughter was gone. He still refuses. Investigators analyzed the crash. The windshield damage didn't match the tree. The airbags suggested a moderate speed impact, but something felt staged. Collision experts couldn't confirm whether Maura was even the only person in the car. Was someone else with her? Did she meet someone there? The White Mountains are vast, unforgiving, and deadly in winter. Temperatures that night dropped below freezing. If Maura wandered into the woods unprepared, she wouldn't have lasted long. But search teams scoured the area for weeks. Helicopters, thermal imaging, snowshoe volunteers. They found nothing. Not a single trace. Maura's track coach later told investigators she'd talked about running away, about wanting to escape. Her relationship with Bill was controlling, he said. She felt trapped. But if she planned to disappear, why bring textbooks? Why take birth control pills? Those aren't the items of someone planning to vanish forever. At 1 p.m. on February 9th, hours before the crash, Maura sent her boyfriend an email. "I love you more, stud. I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I promised to call today, though." She never did. That was the last anyone heard from her. Ever. So what really happened? Theory 1. Maura was abducted by a stranger. a predator driving through rural New Hampshire who saw a vulnerable woman alone on a dark road. It's possible. It's terrifying. But there's no evidence, no witnesses, no body. Just speculation. Theory 2. Maura planned to disappear. Some investigators believe she staged the crash and left voluntarily. Maybe she feared her credit card fraud case would ruin her nursing career. Maybe she wanted a fresh start. But if that's true, where is she? How has she stayed hidden for 20 years? Theory 3. Maura succumbed to the elements. She wandered into the woods, disoriented, possibly drunk, and died of hypothermia. Searchers missed her body in the dense forest. But cadaver dogs have searched that area dozens of times since 2004. Nothing. Not a bone, not a shred of clothing. Theory 4. The tandem driver theory. Some believe Maura had a second person with her, driving another vehicle. She crashed, they picked her up, and they left together. But who? And why has that person never come forward? Why would they help her disappear? Or worse, did they harm her? In 2009, a search was conducted at a property near the crash site. Cadaver dogs reacted in a basement. Investigators dug. They analyzed soil samples. They brought in forensic teams. But they found nothing conclusive. Just another dead end in a case full of them. Maura's sister Julie has taken control of the story. She runs a podcast, spreads awareness on TikTok, and fights to keep her sister's case alive. She refuses to let Maura become just another statistic, another cold case file gathering dust. She believes someone out there knows what happened, and she's not giving up. Maura's case was the first true crime mystery to go viral in the social media age. It launched just days after Facebook was created. Forums exploded. Reddit threads dissected every second of her final day. Amateur sleuths around the world became obsessed. But obsession hasn't brought answers. The New Hampshire Cold Case Unit still treats Maura's disappearance as suspicious. They've released age progression photos showing what she might look like at 41 years old. They're still accepting tips, still investigating. But after 20 years, the truth feels further away than ever. Fred Murray believes his daughter was abducted. He believes she's dead. But he's never stopped searching. He's never stopped demanding answers from police. He's filed lawsuits, pushed for transparency, and refused to let investigators close the book on Maura. Because a father never gives up. 20 years later, Maura Murray remains one of America's most haunting unsolved mysteries. Did she run away? Was she taken? Did she die alone in the woods? We may never know. But if you're captivated by real cases like this, hit subscribe. I cover one chilling mystery every single week. What's your theory?